And this is our last story, so this is gonna be kind of funny. I like this story a lot. But let's get a little intro in. Hey, how you doing? My name's Heero. I host the Identity Booth. This is the last story. I don't have the energy or time to go through this every time. I think I might just create like a single reel and put it in through, but that's like a sign of laziness. I feel like that's a sign of laziness, so we'll probably have to keep it up. But with this, like, share, subscribe if you enjoy the content I'm making. Hey, feel free to support us, man. It's on iTunes, Anchor FM, for as little as $1 a month, man. That's $12. I'm worth $12. But support is free over here. It's a pandemic. I don't want your last dollar. I don't need your money, but I do need your support. And you can support me on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, whatever you want to watch me on. Twitter. Like, share, subscribe. Send this to someone who is upset Donald Trump lost the election. That's how you can help me out. But with all those good things being put into place, let's get on to this story, guys. This story right here. So the NBA draft just recently happened, right? Let's zoom in on this because I don't want y'all to be like, what the hell am I looking at? It is exactly what you think it is. The NBA draft took place, I think 2 nights ago. Shout out to CAA for having the most first round draft picks or whatever the hell they do. Good on them. And this dude, Zeke Nigeria's mom, this dude, and this is how you know, like, the story has been taken over. Zeke is a Nigerian man who just got drafted to, I think, the Suns or whoever. Zeke would have been as insignificant as every other draft pick that you could mention or think of. But it's because of his mom. His mom in the corner. And I'm not a big fan of saying, and let me know if this bothers you guys. If I married a woman and she had a child by someone else, I'm not calling that child my stepson or stepdaughter. That's just my kid. That's my son. That's my daughter. There is no prefix before that. You are my blood. You are my flesh now. Look at me. I'm your daddy. Like, I just feel like it's weird. Like, it's a disconnect. And if me personally as a kid, I wouldn't want to be, this is my biological son and this is my stepson. Like, shut the fuck up. We're both your son. And so, we need to stop that. We need to stop that. I think that's, like, so weird. But his mama, a white woman, was wearing traditional African Nigerian garbs. And just to give you guys a preface this with a little information, seeing as I'm a Nigerian man, this is not a Nigerian color pattern. This is more of a Ghanaian or Toga print. This is not a predominant print in the Nigerian culture. But it's definitely from Ghana. But he got drafted and she's wearing this, and the gatekeepers of the black culture who know nothing. No, and I'm about to get on my soapbox here. I'm about to get on my privileged soapbox here. As a Nigerian man, 100% grade A Nigerian goat meat. It runs in my blood. I'm here to tell you, I don't give a damn. I don't care. You want to know why I don't care? Because it's not about her. It's not about her. Your weird infatuation with appropriation of our culture. You think you have some special tool here? If you're upset about this picture and you've never been to Nigeria, you can't say shit. If you're upset about this picture and you're a black person, I'm talking. Let me give a disclaimer real quick. This is a disclaimer. Hey, my name's Heero. I'm the host of the Identity Booth, and from time to time, I like to have candid conversations with black people. And when I want to have these candid conversations with black people, I need to put out a disclaimer to the fellow white people or Hispanic people or Asian people watching this, because you guys are my cousins too, and I love y'all, and y'all a big part of my demographic. Like, y'all really do help me out, and I appreciate that. But what happens during these candid conversations, I say some shit that I don't need y'all to say outside of this moment, and you're just here watching right now. You can't say this outside. I will not defend you. I'm not your friend, or I'm not cool enough with you for you to feel comfortable to say this outside. And if you said something I'm going to say in the next few phrases outside and it results in you losing some financial aspect of your life or friends or being labeled as one of those people, just remember this conversation. You were warned. Don't say nothing I'm about to say on the outside like you gotta, like you're cool. You're not allowed to say the N-word. It's one of those things, okay? Disclaimer over. If you are a black person upset about this or clowning this white lady and you haven't donated any money to end the SARS situation, shut the fuck up. If you didn't help out when Boko Haram was going on, shut the fuck up. If you aren't a person who knows what Eba, Amala, swallow, agege bread, jollof rice, fried rice, smells like in your own oven, shut the hell up, man. The gatekeepers of the black community are not authentic black people. And understand what I mean by authentic. Because authentic means you have no ownership of anything. The black culture is for everybody. And the only time we're upset when black culture is being used by people is when it's being manipulated, downplayed, or unrecognized. That's when we see the people walking around with the Bantu knots in their head and saying, I just tried a new twist. No, bitch. Recognize where that shit came from. From the 1300s. We did it so that when we put our hair in bonnet nets, the sweat would roll down and not be stuck in our hair, causing it to clump up. Understand our history. Still in our box braids? Oh, that's cool. That's not you, though. That's us. Respect our culture. Because whether you want to believe it or not, if you've never been to South Africa, you don't know that white people can be African. That shit blows your mind right now. There are people in Africa, blonde hair, blue eyes, straight nose, and get sunburned. European descent, but African made. Check it out. 2 black people in Africa can have a white baby. It's not in that world is acceptable. Let me give you some insight into this lady. She married ZEEK'S dad. And ZEEK'S dad is cultured. As you can see, ZEEK'S wearing traditional garbs. Zeke is a person who is in love with his culture. His grandmother, his mother, or whoever this is also wearing traditional garb. The husband's right there in the corner. But this is the picture you really need to be focused on. Is this picture right here. That's also her. And that's Zeke. That's the father. And she's also in traditional wear. This is something that they've always done. And it was by request of the husband. The husband. The pure blood. Because he wants his wife to show respect to the culture. All major events in any Nigerian culture requires traditional garb. You look dumb without it. he was asking her to pay respect. So she knew that this was going to be a backlash. But dare I say, an obedient wife wanted to make sure that her husband was happy, her family was happy. She's not appropriating our culture. She was invited in. And she lives comfortably there. She's not the issue. The issue is the gatekeepers of our community, who aren't really members of our community. It's baffling to me how we as black people, disclaimers over. White people, welcome back. You guys can speak freely. My bad. I kept you on there for a while. It's baffling to me as white people, like they don't get, like you guys don't get it. We need white people, especially here in America. We need them. We need them to be okay with us. We need them to understand that we need them here, because they can move for us. They can speak up for us. They can help us out. If I'm being real, before my shit like got, and I haven't even blown up, but when I was speaking about politics for the first time, it was white people helping me with that shit. Because anytime I brought it to my brothers or sisters, it was, it's not that cool. It's not for them. It's baffling, but it's something you have to acknowledge. Allies are allies. And if someone wants to pay respect to you, you have to understand the difference between respect and disrespect. If she put on black makeup, okay, then there's an issue. That's something we have to talk about. But y'all out here trying to cancel this lady for being, by definition, a good mother, while y'all out here letting your kids trick or treat and shit, while y'all out here sending your kids to school knowing there's a pandemic, but hey, you don't want to deal with them for another 6 weeks. And I'm throwing shade. It's tough times for everybody, but it just baffled me why this was a story in the first place. Because Zeke's day of being drafted will now be synonymous with his mother being treated like an appropriator of a culture. We talk about black boy joy and how it's a beautiful thing to see black people smiling, black people happy, and Zeke's happiest moment is going to be tarnished by this, by toxic gatekeepers. Let's get to some questions. Depends on the age and how much the other parent is in their life, I think. Well, yeah, you know what? You make a good point there, Jess, talking about like the first part of this story. If they're a young person, like a kid, but I don't know. Like, because if I married a woman and she had adult kids, and I think adult kids for me is like 21 and up, like I wouldn't expect them to call me dad. I would like at that point they would probably address me as sir, or yeah, sir. But like that's how I address my father, as sir, or call him by the name I gave him as a kid, Mister. But like I feel comfortable calling him son or daughter. That would roll off the tongue for me. But I wouldn't expect him to call me like dad or something. Like I think it would be more of a formal understanding. But I think it's on the parent to initiate that. The kid shouldn't be the one to decide. Like the kid can decide how to respond, but the parent should initiate that. I'm open to you calling me father, dad, or whatever. You know. Yeah, I love my the disclaimer, because the disclaimer when one time I didn't do it, the first time I did a disclaimer, somebody like hit me up and was like, yeah, when they had a conversation about this, and I was like, whoa, you should not have been using the points I used. You should not have been using the points I used to talk about my people as a white person. Like, you should not have done that. He was like, oh wow, yeah, next time I need a disclaimer, and that's when I started doing it. I saw the photo. Keisha says, I saw the photo, but didn't think anything of it. Kept scrolling it and on with my day. Continue. Yeah, for me, it wasn't a factor. It's sort of like the Harry Styles video. It was just something that I saw, and now because I saw it and saw people responding to it, I had to speak on it. So this is just me doing the thing. Cancel culture is toxic, but I don't think it's toxic. The way I don't think cancel culture is toxic. I think the way it is used is toxic. I'm okay with canceling fuckwits, but somehow, some way, cancel culture is being wasted on people who don't matter. Like, why wasn't Trump canceled? Like, because it's 70 million people voted for him. Like, we waste our time trying to cancel people who aren't worth canceling, and that's the part that kind of bothers me about it. Like, we could be canceling and hunting down so many people who need to be like removed from the conscious society, but we don't do that. We waste our time like trying to dictate cancel culture to the masses. And then just that's fair calling someone's step anything is weird. If son or daughter isn't comfortable, just names are fine. Yeah, I can go with that. But then it's like also like and that's why I think the formality is the constraint. If you don't like, dads are super weird, because I feel like a motherly touch is always going to be welcome. Mothers have it so much easier because their touch is naturally like peaceful in mind. The fathers who aren't well connected and not really in tune with their like ability to speak to their kids. I remember like the first time my dad said he loved me as an adult, and how uncomfortable he was saying it. But like now that and when I returned, oh, I love you too, Dad, and I tapped him on the chest and was like, hey, I'll catch you on my way to college. But like I could tell like now looking back like how difficult that was for him. Like he's sitting there looking for a way to say it. I'm packed up all my stuff, my room is all made up, and he's looking around, seeing my friends are calling me down to come eat and stuff, and we're about to go to the football park, and he's like, oh, do you got your stuff? I'm like, yeah, I got my stuff. Oh, okay. Do you got this? I'm like, yeah, I got my stuff. And I'm like, is everything all right, man? You look kind of sick. He's like, oh, nothing's wrong. I'm just proud of you, and you be safe. And as soon as I heard be safe, that's usually where our conversation ends. So I just turned around and started walking away. I was like, all right, Dad, see you later. And he said, oh, Heero. I was like, what? He's like, I love you. I was like, oh, I love you too. And I came and gave him a hug, and I was like, tell Mama I love her too. And it's just strange because it didn't register at the time, but that was the first time I realized that, oh, that was the first time my dad said he loved me as an adult. But my mom has said it since I was conceived. In my mind, she was whispering it to herself, and I could hear her thoughts. And it was just, and the fact that I said, and tell Mom I said I love her too, because that's something that it already happened. So I feel like dads always have it weird in that situation, and probably women do too, but I'm only speaking from the part that I understand the most. But yeah, man, leave the kids alone. Leave the kids alone. We've had a brash of Karens in the society, and this isn't one of them. She's an ally. Let's keep her as such. It's just baffling to me. And the only thing I would say is wrong with this picture is that she's wearing the wrong country's print. This is not a traditional Nigerian print. That's a Ghanaian print. But if she's talking about coastal, she has it right. So, no one cares. Everyone's watching. Let's real quick before we go. Let's see what is the madman Trump himself said in the last hour or two.